Hello and welcome back to the Kailah King Show. Oh my goodness, today's conversation is going to be expanding your consciousness like nothing you've ever experienced before. And the reason for that is because we're going to be speaking into money and we're going to be speaking into generational wealth. Each of those carry a different frequency. And I actually want to share with you one of my most recent investments that is extraordinary and carries codes of absolute abundance and wealth, and the frequency that I had to hold as I made that investment, as well as the fears that I had to lean into and move through as I made that investment. Did I allow those fears to hold me back? Absolutely not. Did I hold space for those fears and bring unconditional love to those fears? Did I allow myself to look for the gift in those fears? Absolutely yes. But it did not hold me back from my investment. It just gave me I had the opportunity to go to a higher perspective and see the shadow and see the light and then still move with that fear. That's the power that each and every one of us hold. Now, I also want to share with you a prophecy that I see in the future, which is absolutely the truth. And it is the shift from lack and scarcity, survival when it comes to money, and the shift into the ascension, into the transition into generational wealth. The energetic codes of generational wealth. So first of all, I want to speak about my investment. I am officially going to Egypt in the most luxurious retreat experience that I have ever invested in. Like, the codes dripping in gold is literally all that I can hear and see in this experience. But more than that, it's the soul activation of the light codes, the remembrance, the coming home of what is available to me within the frequency when I visit Egypt. And Egypt has been calling to me for years. I will be holding retreats in Egypt because it activates the light codes. There is a specific code that I can feel, a frequency that I can tune into in Egypt that will be able to unlock within myself and also my future clients. And I am beyond excited for that. Now, if you know me personally, you know that I have this knack for choosing the most expensive thing on the menu without even looking at it. It is just me. I am drawn to all the beautiful things. I love luxury. And for a very long time in my life, I used to think that meant that I was ego-based, because you can't be spiritual, you can't be a healer and also want the luxury material things. That's bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Because when you tune into your highest version of you, luxury doesn't come with a label. It is a frequency. We're going to go further into that. So therefore, when I am desiring all the things that are available to me in my highest timeline, my highest version of me, why would I have to sacrifice the things that I desire? I don't. There's no sacrifice where we're going. And so when I seen this beautiful Sacred Light Egypt retreat come up, I couldn't even explain it. It was like everything that I've ever dreamed of. This beautiful luxury experience created what felt like specifically for me, because the calling was so strong, undeniable. And I thought about it for months. Not only did I think about, that's not even true. I never thought about it. I felt into it for months. I'm a manifesting generator and I go like this, emotional. I go up and down, up and down, up and down. And so I can't make decisions based on my highs or my lows. I have to come back to neutral. And so I give myself the space to fully tap into any investment that I'm making so that I know that I'm not making it from a logical perspective, not from fear, not from undeniable belief, I don't even know where that was going. Let's just ignore that. I want to make sure that when I make a decision and an investment in myself, that it is true and it's in alignment with my highest potential. It's true that my soul is calling me towards it. So I had to sit with the fear because I'm a manifesting generator, go up and down. The unbelievable, undeniable excitement is what I was going to say. When I get so excited about something, logic goes out the window. Like, I am so excited. And when I move in that frequency, it's always truth. And so when I feel that frequency, I'm like, let's go. let's go. It's all going to work out for me. That's the absolute truth. And that's the one thing that I know is that if I feel that frequency of excitement, it is meant for me. And so I move. But then I can also have days where I might see that same opportunity come through, and then I will be in a lower frequency. Something else might have been happening. Something's pulled me out of alignment. I need to come back to center, back to ground, back into alignment for me to make that decision. I need to tune into what is my current energetic state. Am I feeling high as fuck or am I feeling low? And am I tuning into, if I'm feeling low, I'm in my fear. I'm in my lack. I'm in my survival. I'm in scarcity. I'm in doubt. And I'm sure as fuck not going to make the right decision when I'm in that frequency and in that state. And so I need to create the space for me to move through those fears that are coming up for me. And there were fears. I think I had a nightmare where I woke up and it was like, if you go to Egypt and you invest this much money to go to Egypt, you're going to regret it. It's going to be an absolute waste of money. Interesting, hey? Interesting that my mind created a story based on the fear that I had. And so if I didn't have the ability, the higher perspective, to rise above it and see it for what it is, a pattern that was playing out, a fear that was hidden in the shadow, if I couldn't bring light to the fear in the shadow and I couldn't see it from a higher perspective, I wouldn't have the conscious awareness to shift it or to sit with it or to acknowledge it or to bring love to that part of me that was fucking scared. Do you know why I was scared? This is the first investment that I've made as a single mum. As in, I have not had anyone else to fall back on as I make this multiple five-figure investment. I have no one to back me up. This is the first investment that I've had to make with absolute anchored inner safety. And so I was petrified because what? Like, I'm a single mum. I'm the sole responsibility for rent and electricity and power and all of the flights back and forth from Perth, the school holiday programs. Fuck, like I am it. And I have to be the provider, the absolute provider of a roof over my boy's head. I have to be the absolute provider of flights back and forwards from Perth to Queensland. Fuck, that is a heavy weight on my shoulders. And here I am making a multiple five-figure investment. That sounds crazy. It doesn't make sense. It's not logical. And the fear would have held me back. So I had to sit with that fear. I had to sit with the moments of panic that I was having, the actual nightmares where I was questioning if this was the right decision for me. Because what mum would go on a how many days is it? The 1st to the 12th of November. So 13 days. So literally 2.5 weeks maybe, because time before and after Egypt. So what mum invests over $30,000 to go to a luxury Sacred Light Egypt retreat? Can you see how programming, beliefs, fear of other people's judgment, fear that it's not all going to work out, the lack that there's not going to be enough, the scarcity, like how am I even going to make this work? Can you see how all of that could have held me back from making the investment on one of the greatest moments in time where everything changes in my life? Simply because I was sitting in a lower energetic state of fear, doubt, insecurity, shame, the worst, the lowest vibration you can ever drop into. Shame. What are people going to think of me? Can you see how that would have had an impact if I sat in that energy and I allowed that cycle and that pattern to play out where I just fall so deep, hit rock bottom in this negative vortex of all the things that could go wrong. And then through the fear being so potent and way too much for my nervous system to handle, I can't, no fucking way could I ever invest in that. Can you see how much of an impact that fear had on my life? But because I have the conscious awareness, the ability to rise above and see everything from a higher perspective, the willingness to sit with my shadow and be with my fear and actually look for the lesson, the wisdom, and the gift that it's bringing me. How is it reflecting back to me? What needs to shift in my inner world? Where am I still holding on to? Lack, scarcity, fear? How can I trust in the Creator? How can I have more faith in the Creator? How can I trust and have more faith in myself? Can you see the impact that having the ability to rise above and consciously choose a different experience, the embodiment of my highest timeline? The moment that I stepped into the identity, not even stepping into it, because it's already me. It's already me. It's who I am. It's just consciously choosing to anchor and embody my highest timeline again and again and again in every single moment. And it takes conscious awareness. It takes having the awareness where your fears are showing up, where the shadow is. So that shadow and those fears can give you that reflection back to you around where you're still stuck. And the moment that you see that reflection of where you're still stuck, you have the ability and the conscious awareness to shift it and transform it and alchemize it into magic. And that's where you get to create a different experience. That one moment in time is the exact moment in time that you create a different experience and you leap in timelines. When I tune into my soul's truth, when I allow the fear, I bring love to the fear, I alchemize the fear, and then I tune into my light and my soul's truth, I know undeniably, unfuckwithable, unstoppable truth is that I am going to Egypt. Ask any of my closest friends, you will know. They all know. They are the ones who keep asking me about Egypt because I've spoken about Egypt for so long, because it's my soul's calling. It's my absolute highest desire. And I have zero interest in going to do an Egypt retreat that is the same as everybody else's Egypt retreat. I am so unique. I love unique experiences and I love luxury experiences. There is a difference in frequency between a luxury item and some item from Kmart. I'm calling it. Everybody knows it. It's truth. Your soul will feel it. Your hands will feel it. My mum used to, it's actually hilarious. Me, my mum and my brother walk around the shops and we feel clothing. We literally feel the frequency of clothing, and that is what determines if we buy it. Because there's a feeling, there's a frequency of the fabric. It's this, my hands are vibrating. It's the same thing with beautiful restaurants. There is a feeling around sitting at a dining table and being served this beautiful high frequency food because it's in a luxurious restaurant. There is an absolute feeling and frequency and energy that comes with that space. It's the exact same when you buy a beautiful car. You want to buy a Mercedes, but then there's also this, I can't remember, was it like a Kia Sportage or something that, wasn't really aligned with me, but it was another option and it looked kind of pretty. So I was like, okay, I could make that work. But my soul wanted the Mercedes. My soul was an energetic match for the Mercedes. And so it would have been me settling if I bought the Kia. Luckily, the universe had my back and there was no Kia Sportages available. So I got a Mercedes. But my point being is there is a frequency that comes with luxury, and it's the same thing for this Egypt retreat, right? So the idea of going to a cheaper version of this retreat was just, I contemplated it. There was a moment, and this is programming that I've had to move through when it comes to my money story, is there something cheaper that we can get that will give us the same experience? No, there's absolutely not. There's absolutely not, because the frequency of luxury has a vibration. When you buy something from Chanel versus Kmart, there is an absolute difference in the frequency of the investment and the material of the clothing. When you tune into the frequency of luxury, there is this feeling. It's a feeling, and I fucking love it, right? I'm magnetized to luxury things. Ask anyone. I'm literally magnetized to luxury things. And so when I had to tune into making this decision around sacred light, interesting, because I was about to say sacred alchemy, which is my vision that I hold for Egypt, so I love that. But sacred light in Egypt and the investment, so sitting with those fears that were coming up for me with this investment, being over $30,000, I had to be with those fears. I had to be with that potential shame and that guilt and that judgment and all those lower vibrations and frequencies. I had to really sit with that. And from that space, I then had to alchemize it, bring light to it, bring unconditional love to it, not abandon it, not abandon those parts of me. They're all lovable, but bring love to those parts of me that were scared. I needed to create inner sacred alchemy, inner wholeness, so that I could rise to the frequency that I needed to be in to make a conscious decision that is in alignment with my highest timeline and the highest version of me. And that is the embodiment of a high frequency investment. Because I know that that $30,000 investment is going to bring me $300,000. Actually, $3 million is what I just got shown. So when I'm tuning into that, my heart is fully opening right now. Like I can feel my heart expanding and opening to the vision of that investment and the frequency of that investment and what's coming around from that investment. And so it took me to sit with those fears and sit with the shame to be able to bring love and alchemize those parts of me that were scared to then rise above to become the frequency of who I needed to be to make this investment from an embodied, aligned version of me in my highest timeline. And this is how you quantum leap, because it takes one conscious decision to take action from your highest timeline, from the embodiment of your highest timeline, from the highest version of you. One decision. I could have said no, and I could have sat in my fear, and I could have allowed that fear to consume me. That would have brought me to a different timeline. It feels contracted in my heart. There's no way, not even a possibility. But because I have the ability to sit with the fear, sit with the shame, bring love to it and alchemize it, and then rise above, I'm able to not only quantum leap into a different timeline because I made a conscious decision that is in alignment with my highest timeline and the highest version of me, but I was also able to look for the gift and the lessons and the wisdom in the fear, because I'm able to see in reflection, where am I still stuck? My hands are vibrating like wildfire right now. So this is an absolute transmission for all of you. I'm able to see now where I'm still stuck, where I'm still holding on to fear and not love. I'm able to see in the reflection of the fear where I'm still holding shame, guilt, and judgment for living my absolute best life. Where I'm still holding on to old patterns and programmings of who you should be as a mother. Can you see how wildly impactful this experience has already been? And I haven't even made it to Egypt yet. I haven't even gotten the plane. I haven't even booked the flights. I'm not even in Egypt, and it's still already giving me the lessons that I need to quantum leap to my highest timeline. How powerful is that? Now, I'm going to wrap up this conversation because it's 19 minutes, but I really want to share with you the vision that I hold for the future from 2027 beyond. We're in the transition period right now as we shift from the 3D money, lack, scarcity, and survival into the 5D abundance, miracles, magic, generational wealth that carries a higher frequency. And throughout all of that, we are tuning into the sacred alchemy within. And this is the most extraordinary experience that I've ever created in my life. This is a 6-week online retreat that is going to be the catalyst for your quantum leap, the catalyst for you becoming, embodying, activating, and anchoring your highest timeline. The exact example that I just gave you right there is exactly what you will now have the tools in your toolkit, the absolute solid knowing of what is available for you and the process that you can take yourself through to shift through the fear, to alchemize it into light, to then embody and become your highest timeline, to quantum leap into the vision and the desires that you hold. This is the most powerful experience. It will completely transform your life. But more importantly, it's going to activate this new level of power, this new level of magnetism, and this new level of pleasure in your life, in your business, in your relationships, in your wealth, everything. It's the baseline, the identity baseline of who you are. It's giving you the tool to understand where your shadows are, your fears are, your doubts are, your insecurities are, giving you the reflection, the mirror to look into and see where you're still stuck, giving you the opportunity to alchemize and transform that shadow, to alchemize it into embodying and anchoring your highest timeline, the highest version of you, the version of you that gets to receive everything that she was here to receive. Non-negotiable. You'll get to activate a higher level of boundaries and standards within yourself. There will be no more people pleasing, no more overgiving. It's the embodiment of the highest version of you, and she gets what she wants. There's no sacrifice. In the higher dimensions, the higher frequencies, there is zero sacrifice. I'm going to go further into that in the next episode because this conversation has gone wild, but I hope you've loved this conversation. Reach out to me in the DMs. And if you are interested in joining us inside of Sacred Alchemy, we begin mid-October. And right now you can, oh my God, I can't even believe that I'm doing this. This feels wild. You can literally join Sacred Alchemy for $222. Sacred Alchemy is going to be $2,222. And at the exact time that I'm saying this, it's 22 on the clock. Can we get a fucking miracle, please? I can't wait to welcome you into Sacred Alchemy. It is an experience like nothing you've ever experienced before. It is going to be the catalyst for your quantum leap. You won't even recognize your life beyond this. It is not for the logical mind. It is not a training. It is not a strategy. It is the baseline of a logical results. Magic. Magic and miracles. And activating these new levels of generational wealth codes within you like nothing you've ever experienced before. Woo! I love you, and I will see you in the next episode.